Welcome to the worst year of our lives, Oops, All N-Words edition. Drew, you excited for today?
I will never say the N-word on a podcast ever again.
Fair enough.
In the history of my life. As Scott said, this is the worst year of our lives podcast. I'm Syrian Softpaws, at Syrian Softpaws, and my co-host is the 1997 Miss Calgary at Not Scott Henson.
That's true. Was it Miss or Mrs.?
I think it was Miss. I think our Sash said Miss.
That was definitely an appointed title then.
Yeah, for sure.
Diana Hart Smith.
Miss. Yeah, and
is not Miss or Mrs. anything.
No. She
in an actual competition.
She's probably miserable.
Sure.
Because she's getting drugged and butt fucked by her husband.
Yeah, but luckily he'll be dead soon.
That is true.
And then she'll be free.
There is a silver lining.
Did she remarry?
I don't think so.
I don't think she did.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, how can you follow up a junkie who drugs and butt fucks you? You can't. Once you've been to the peak, you can't go back up halfway. Nobody climbs Everest and then Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, that's true. She definitely she was one of those like old school basketball players that goes right from college to a starting job in the NBA.
Yeah.
And like you're literally going hard right away.
Yeah.
You go right from
there's no middle territory.
You go right from single to spousal rape. There's no going back from spousal rape. It's not like you're going to go from high school to the NBA and then go to college.
Exactly. It's like going back to college.
Yeah, it's doing one full season in the NBA.
Which, as everyone knows, that's where Shaq made his money.
That's where Shaq made all of his money.
I don't think we specifically said we're talking about being married to the British Bulldog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Noted violent spousal abuser.
In case you're not familiar with Diana Hart Smith, in case you're someone who doesn't even know anything about pro wrestling, just likes the sounds of our voices.
Ew. Apparently, according
dulcet tones.
According to Wikipedia, she was a model for 20 years.
That seems like
a model of what?
She was a model.
Tractors?
Wait, she was the tractor?
She's the tractor. Have you seen her face?
She's a real tractor of a woman.
She got inducted into the Canadian Wrestling Hall of Fame
for just being
in class
married?
of 2001. What, for being an on-air personality?
For being Bret Hart's sister and for fucking the British Bulldog.
I hate it.
That's what she's in the Hall of Fame for. So what ages was she a model from? I'm gonna say 4 to 24. She might have had some hot child years we don't know about. I don't think we can, in good conscience, rule out that Diana Hart was a hot child.
Well, yeah, I mean, have you seen the other Harts?
I mean, yeah, they don't make a great case for that, but there's always a diamond in the rough.
It doesn't say. It doesn't say. The only thing
the ages that she was a model.
Yeah, the ages she was a model. I can't, were any of the Harts considered attractive? Like, there must have been people that thought Bret was fine.
Yeah. That's about it. I guess Bret's fine, Owen's okay.
Yeah.
Most of the lesser male Harts are fucking ugly.
They're very Cro-Magnon man looking.
Yeah, they
look like Stu.
Yeah, we'll get to it at the end of this, but there was one that I've dubbed Schlub Hart.
Schlub Hart.
who just sort of wandered around and looked like he had never done anything physical in his life, even though I bet you he wrestled for 6 years in Stampede.
I'm sure that they forced him to wrestle.
Yeah, Von Erich style.
Von Erich style.
But Fritz, I'm the sick one. Get out and wrestle.
I have lupus.
Listen, we're good guy Nazis. And you're going to get out there and wrestle for those girls who throw their underwear at you. Man.
Well, I'll tell you which one it wasn't. It definitely wasn't Dean Hart.
Dean.
Straight up fucking died.
Yeah. No, it was Schlub, I'm telling you.
I can't believe that the majority of them are alive. Like, considering how much of a fucking carny lifestyle they've all lived.
Yeah.
Like, oof.
Yeah, it's impressive. It's impressive that, like, one of the only main deaths is from falling off the roof of a stadium. And that no one just fucking shot themselves in the face.
Yeah. Yeah,
Which means it was a better upbringing than the Von Erichs. Can we talk about the Von Erichs forever?
Sure.
And also how it would be like kind of awesome to be a Von Erich and like not even Kevin the alive one.
Especially if you were Lance.
Maybe not Lance, a fake one. But I think it would be sick to be like Carrie or David?
David.
Or the original.
David's the big one. Like the really big one that died in Japan.
Yeah, David. That David's cool.
David's cool.
I mean, got tons of pussy in like your, I don't know, mid to late teens.
Yeah. Or you know what? I'm going to say mid to early teens.
Yeah, just like your entire life that you can remember is nothing but drowning in pussy, drowning in Texas pussy, and doing heroin.
Drowning in pussy and drowning in heroin.
Yeah. That's like, fine. So you die when you're, I don't know, 22.
Yeah.
Fine. That's 22 good ones, man. I'll take 22 good ones over 90 shit ones.
Would you trade your life
right now
for David Von Erich's life?
Age of death.
25.
100%.
Yeah. Although the only downside is... I guess the only upside is he
only had to see one other brother die. Kevin's had to see them all.
The fact that Kevin is still a functioning member of humanity,
unbelievable.
He died in the early 80s,
yeah.
So he it would have been fine if he had died a little bit earlier, because then you wouldn't have had to worry about AIDS, because AIDS wasn't invented until the 80s.
Yeah, like 81.
Yeah. So if he died in 79.
Well, that's the dream. Yeah,
but then he would
die at 25 in 1979.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, of course.
No question.
Because then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah,
you don't have to strap up anything.
Nope.
Just barebacking and freeballing and
raw dog your way across the Pacific.
Yeah, it's it would be real cool to get to be in Texas in the 70s and 80s and literally just never stop getting it wet.
Never stop getting it wet. Sell out the same arena every week, 15,000 fans.
Yeah. There was a Rip Von Erich?
Yes.
Oh, he's new. And he's fake.
Yes.
Okay. And there's Lance and Waldo.
Not in the family tree.
Remember when Lacey Von Erich was a wrestler and she was horrible and everyone hated her as a human being?
Yeah, they did, right?
She was a dumb bitch.
I believe she was a dumb bitch.
But at least Kevin has got his life together and he is a good father.
Yep.
He has kids that he loves and is around all the time.
How about Lacey Chabert Von Erich?
And she quits Family Guy after season 1 because she's stupid?
Oh, yeah.
She used to be Meg.
She was original Meg.
She was original Meg.
That's interesting. And Lacey Chabert is the fifth member of Party of Five that I always forget.
Right.
I can always bang out the other four, no problem.
Matthew Fox, Nev Campbell.
Yeah.
The other one who has a animal-related last name.
Yes, that's how you remember them both. Matthew Fox and
Wolf, Scott Wolf.
Yep.
No, see, I would remember Lacey Chabert over the other one.
You'd remember Lacey Chabert over Jennifer Love Hewitt?
Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding me? Yes. The Ghost Whisperer?
Well, considering I forgot, then yes, I would.
That's insane to me. I can always bang out the four, and I'm like, and another bitch. But now I've got her in my brain forever.
Could you imagine having to pay for 4 funerals between...
And one wedding?
1984 and 1993? For your four of your 5 children?
Jesus Christ.
Jesus. And when did Fritz die?
Late 90s?
97, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Man.
That's something.
That's fucked up. At least Stu only had to pay for 1.
Stu only had to bury one child.
Did he died before Owen, right? I think.
Did he? We just saw him alive in 97. Did he? True. Was it somewhere in there?
Oh, no, way after.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was in 2000s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got the Order of Canada.
Yeah, why not?
Because he's a dumb fucking wrestler.
Look, man, we don't have much.
12 children. Jesus Christ. Helen died first. Thank God.
Stu never wrapped it up.
Never. So...
Helen Hart was pregnant
when she died.
Well...
Podcast over.
Not where I was going, but we're not going to top it. How old was she?
How old was she when she died?
Love to know how old she was when she died.
She was 1947, and she died in 2001. So she...
It seems to me like 47 to 2001? It's not that old.
1947, and she died... married in 1947.
I was going to say, she was more older than 54.
Doesn't say.
Huh.
But he...
Let's say she was 85.
He was born in 1915.
Okay.
So, assuming she's around the same age.
Unless he got her young.
Well, yeah, true.
He was born...
And also, 1915, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It's not like there was rules.
Yeah. He was born during the First World War. She was born during Vietnam.
She's barely old enough to be like the oldest Hart's mom.
He is 60 years her senior.
It happens a lot.
What was I even gonna say before we established that Helen Hart was pregnant at 85 when she died? Oh yeah, Helen Hart was pregnant for 9 full years of her life.
Yeah.
That's too much.
Could you just imagine how ripped and torn she looked down there?
Just busted.
Ripped, torn, R.I.P.
R.I.P. We lost him.
We lost him.
Also pregnant at death.
Also pregnant to death, yeah. Oh,
God damn it, there's a baby inside me.
This is the point where I do my research on anyone that died during the podcast. R.I.P. Del Wilkes.
The Patriot.
Patriot. Never, like I said, never saw him in fucking Japan.
He's in an all-Japan video game.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I mean, we get to see him wrestle soon.
He's in a knockoff Fire Pro all-Japan video game from, like, 96 for, like, Super Famicom or whatever. I had it on an emulator at some point. Don't know if I still do.
That's weird, but cool.
Yeah.
It's weird to me. Oh, man, we're going on so many goddamn tangents here.
That's how we roll.
It's weird and cool to me that
more weird or cool if you had to pick one. You have
cool.
And you have to pick one. Okay.
That so many other video games get like emulators or like redone by like these people that are working on like such a higher level of computers and technology than I will ever understand in my life.
Yes.
Being able to like take no mercy, updated rosters, add moves,
yeah.
but then also update the graphics so they look better. And it's like, that game is from 1998. Like, what the fuck? How is that possible?
Yeah, it's amazing. But God bless them.
God bless them. They give us good stuff.
Yeah, it's fucked up that I guess like Fire Pro aside, like literally No Mercy is still the best North American wrestling game 20 years later. That like everyone who's made a game after that should be embarrassed.
Yeah. Oh, especially anyone working within the 2K.
Yes, especially the fine people at 2K,
which is so bizarre. Like, I'm not like a huge gamer, even though I have a gamer chair.
You have a gamer chair, and how long did you stay up playing games?
Oh, I played FIFA from 10 till 2
a.m. to a.m.
No, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Okay. It wasn't a 16-hour job.
Let me change that. I don't play like the nerd games. I just play the sports games and the cowboy games.
Yeah.
And also the Assassin's Creed games and the Batman games. Like, anyways.
But mostly sports.
But it's such a huge market that you can make so much fucking money off of.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. Well, I understand, but why it's so hard to make a good game.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying there aren't good games. There are amazing games.
But
there are games that, like, how old is Red Dead? 4 years? 3 years?
3. 2018.
And I'm still playing it and finding things.
Yeah.
Like, it's a crazy ass game.
And finding cool things, like the KKK and vampires.
And, like, giant snakes hidden in the woods and gay sex.
Large cats.
But anyways, so how you don't have... I mean, maybe the 2K games are a bad example because I don't know how much they have control over anything. Because it's Vince and it's WWE.
Right.
But, like, it almost seems like no one takes pride in their games anymore.
Well, other
than, like, the more independent developers.
And, like, key case in point of that is, like, Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Where, like, you know... like
you can be trans,
8 years of hype.
Yeah.
And it's just fucking dog shit when they put it out.
You can be trans, Scott, but you can only have sex with, like, 2 people.
Yes, and your gender is determined entirely by your voice and nothing else.
Well, if there's one thing I've learned, if you got a high-pitched voice, you're a gay man.
You're a bitch.
Yeah. There's so much, like, okay, like, for example, not to go on a tangent here.
We would never.
I've played every NHL game that EA has put out since 98 or 97. Every game.
I heard 94 is a good one.
94 is fun, but I don't enjoy it. But I've literally, like, every year at Christmas, myself and my 2 best friends would get it for the computer, and then we would spend the next 3 months just playing constantly. And, like, every year they put out a new one. But since since 2017, it's like they don't care. It's like they're actively just copy and paste. The only thing that's different is, like, new players are in, retired players are out, better, like, ratings are a little bit different. Maybe they add one minor change, like one change that is, like, big.
You can sexually accost people in the locker room now, right?
Only coaches do that.
Okay.
Hockey players aren't necessarily.
And can coaches also call players the N-word now?
Yes, and you can kick them.
And you can
on the bench. You can kick them, and then you can. And you can talk about how you don't want to listen to their beep music in the locker room.
And
this is a
kick them.
Well, that was
this is a real.
Yeah, that was one of the big things.
Yeah,
but they.
I just liked how ready you were with it.
Well, of course, I think about it. If I ever wanted to be a coach,
I think about it every day.
I would kick players, especially if they were kids. But. Like, I have friends that work at EA, not in the NHL system, like in their development, but at other games, brag. And it's like they literally don't give a fuck. Like, they don't actively care about making a better game.
No,
they just want to. They just want to
finish the game,
and they know people will buy it.
Yeah.
So, like, they're not actively in the process of, like, okay, here's what the online community has been complaining about. Why don't we adapt and change and whatever? It's like, no, fuck them. They're gonna play it no matter what. Like, I don't give a shit if they complain. Fuck them. So there just seems to be.
So they just shit out a game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, whereas at least before, when 2K was putting out games, they would compete head to head, sort of, and they would have to update and make things better. So it's the same thing with, like, WWE games. Is like 2K makes, like, the NBA series for 2K is great. Like the gameplay, the graphics, the actual game itself is amazing.
How about NBA Jam Tournament Edition?
That's not made by EA.
I see.
Is it Acclaim?
I'm gonna say Acclaim.
Acclaim.
We're gamers, we know this.
But then, for whatever reason, like, you can't take that same.
How about NBA The Streets?
That was EA.
Yeah,
that was EA. But I don't understand why you can't just take the exact same. Everything you have, the whole engine, the whole game.
Take the engine of something. Well, that's what we say about
that is good.
Yeah,
and turn that into your 2K wrestling game
and update.
But I don't know if that's because WWE has their hands in it and they won't let them do stuff.
Yeah,
because the games. I haven't played a 2K WWE game. I think maybe the last WWE game I played was whatever the one that Daniel Bryan was on the cover of. Maybe that was a 2K game. I don't know.
Probably 14. That's probably 2K.
2K14? No, that's The Rock. 2K15. That's John Cena. WWE 13, that's CM Punk. WWE 12, that's Randy Orton. Then I don't know which game I played.
Is it possible that Daniel Bryan was never on one and you're crazy?
You know what? Maybe. Brock Lesnar? Seth Rollins?
Maybe 19? He was back in 19.
AJ Styles?
20?
Nope. Becky Lynch and what's his face?
So we've now gone through...
Okay, well then I guess I didn't. Well, maybe...
I guess I made that. There's probably an alternate cover somewhere. Or I'm just being nice and you're not.
I played 2K14, which was the one with The Rock on it. Okay. And within, I don't know, I don't think I...
How many matches did The Rock have in 2014?
Whatever.
Zero.
Okay. I didn't buy it. Somebody gave it to me. I think either a non-wrestling friend bought it because they were like, "Oh, I love wrestling," and then they were like, "Meh." So they gave it. I didn't pay for it, so I was like, "Okay, I guess I'll play it." And like within minutes of playing the game, it was horrible.
Like the gameplay sucks.
The gameplay sucks. Like nothing about it is realistic. It's all arcade style.
Yeah.
So if you like the arcadiness of it, great.
If you don't like wrestling, great.
Yeah. If you want the wrestlers to do like massive triple backflips off of bumps, then also it looks like they're a feather floating to the mat.
Yeah, with no like discernible impact, and for them to immediately get up afterwards and not sell.
Then great. But if you want like
also just play Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I just within seconds of playing it, I was like, this is shit.
Yeah.
And they've made 7 more since then.
Yeah.
So,
but not a 2K21.
Yeah, I wonder why. I don't understand.
For anyone who doesn't know, look up what would be the best thing to Google to find out what you needed to find out about WWE 2K20.
There was a women's match. There was like Charlotte and someone that was pretty fucked up.
I'm sure there must be a compilation.
There's a compilation of just 2K20.
Yeah, look at WWE 2K20 glitches, botches, anything like that. I think you're gonna like what you find.
Yeah. But it's the same company. I just don't understand how they have no way of just like, here's the NBA game that is so realistic. It's like watching real basketball.
Yeah.
And here's wrestling that looks completely fake and glitches constantly. And I know one person.
Which, when you say completely fake and glitches constantly, I'm like, that is a decent representation of WWE wrestling.
That is true.
But still, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I mean, back me up on this. Shout out to friend of the podcast, TJ, Timmy Joe. He's gonna love that I called him that.
Loves it when you call him that.
I know he is a diehard 2K basketball player.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a 2K wrestling player. I'm like, we are no longer friends with him.
No, he's a diehard 2K player, and he can attest that like the game
is great.
Is rules.
Nice.
Like there's obviously issues because there's always issues with everything, but
too many black guys.
How about if the white guys score? It's 3 points.
They get 1 extra point. It's not going to change.
It's fair. It's fair.
Like, it just makes them feel like they're contributing.
Yeah. All of the good white players are foreign, anyways. Okay, fine. White American-born players.
Oh,
like 3 of them.
White Americans should get like 7 points.
If they score, game's automatically over.
No, if they score, it counts as a touchdown. Yeah. They get 6 and then another free throw. It's foot skitball.
Yeah. Do you hear that, JJ Redick? I think you're white. Start scoring more. It counts.
You hear that?
Extra.
Half of Blake Griffin.
Yeah, but he has to shoot because the white side of Blake Griffin shouldn't be able to dunk.
No,
so he has to shoot the ball.
Yeah, if Blake Griffin hits a jumper, no dunks though.
Fundamentals, Blake. Fundamentals.
Or if he dunks lefty.
That's not fair because he can still jump.
But it's tougher. He can't palm it lefty.
Okay, you know what? That is fair. He can't palm it lefty.
All right, let's get to the news.
The news of the day.
It's time for the news. Are you familiar with the small town, village even I've heard it described as, of Lytton, British Columbia?
I have.
Not 3.5 hours from where we sit right now.
I feel like I've been there before. Or like I think
if you've been up Highway 1, it goes through it.
I think I've been in the city to stop and get like.
You stopped in Lytton.
food, maybe?
Okay.
Or something?
So let's talk about Lytton.
Okay, what do you want to talk about?
Last Sunday, Lytton set the highest recorded temperature in the history of Canada. A temperature higher than any temperature ever recorded in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yep.
Monday, the following day, it broke that record. Tuesday, the following day, it broke that record. And on Wednesday, the whole town burned to the ground.
It literally burnt down.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
It's even marked on Google Maps with Lytton wildfire.
Former Lytton, British Columbia. Ex-Lytton.
What a RIP.
So
it's I'll tell you
RIP.
what's scary to me is that it is that close to us.
Yes.
Like I thought it was like, I don't know, Quesnel.
No, it's
like way away
it's
from us.
halfway to Kamloops, and Kamloops isn't that far away. I've been to Kamloops.
I've been to Kamloops.
Who hasn't?
You've been all over this great province.
I've been up, down, and all around.
I've been everywhere, man.
I've been everywhere. My I would sing it if I could remember it. My elementary school music teacher rewrote "This Land Is Your Land" with only British Columbia references.
Weird.
Yeah, and if I remembered any of it, the only one I remember is "From Ba to Vancouver Island" is the only part I remember. But like the whole thing, I learned the names of like 50 towns in BC from that song.
You ever been to Haida Gwaii?
Haven't. Familiar with it though.
Have you been to its previously known Queen Charlotte Islands?
I mean, I'm a lot more familiar with the Queen Charlotte Islands than Haida Gwaii. And I respect one a lot more.
Yes. Have you been to San Joseph Bay?
Haven't. Is that at the top of
Very
Vancouver
top.
Island?
I almost read that thing wrong.
Can you say it or spell it?
No.
You can't spell it?
N-I-G.
Good start.
E-I. And I thought it said E-R.
I see.
And I was like, who would
Well, that's just Niger.
Who would call it
It's
that?
named after one of their favorite French colonialized countries in Africa.
Yeah, you're right. You nailed it. Port Hardy.
I almost went to Port Hardy.
Fort Rupert.
Let me tell you about Port Hardy. When I was touring this great province of ours. P.S. Everyone's like, what do you mean? Like, how far can you go in one province? British Columbia is 8 times the size of the United Kingdom. It's really big.
From Victoria on the island to I'm not going to count all this like weird fucking Alaska shit.
Yeah, fuck that.
But to the border with the Yukon, it's about the same distance as the border of Washington to Los Angeles.
Yes.
So like British Columbia is at like, I mean, all of Canada, like each province in the western part of the country is as long as the majority of the United States is, except for Texas, because Texas first.
Texas first.
And
Texas is kind of its own country anyway.
All of my exes live in Texas,
Yeah.
but also there ain't nothing there but steers and queers.
And I'm
all
out of bubble gum.
I'm not in the process of dating steers.
Exactly.
They're bovine, they are prey, and I am not having sex with prey.
Yeah. No. Don't
Predator or get the fuck out.
Don't fuck where you eat.
Don't fuck what you eat.
Don't fuck what you eat.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a power thing, then maybe.
You fuck it while you're eating it?
Or fuck it before you eat it?
Or after?
All options, I guess.
Alright, you can fuck what you eat. We changed our mind.
We'll allow it. We've relented on the rule. But watch yourself, counselor.
So, Port Hardy.
Port Hardy. So when I was going all around the province, Port Hardy is the far north tip of Vancouver Island. Also, Vancouver Island, one of the largest populated islands on Earth.
It is true.
So it's pretty big.
It's not quite as big as Cuba.
Not quite as big as Cuba. Definitely not as big as Greenland or Madagascar. But it's still up there. But and any access to Vancouver Island is most of the way south. That's where all the ferries go to.
Says you, but okay.
Yeah, says me.
How many ferries have you taken?
How many fairies have you been with?
I don't call them fairies.
Yeah, I was
Scott.
gonna say, does anyone? I feel like that's a lost art.
That's a very old
calling
term.
gay dudes fairies.
Yeah, it's a very old term.
I also saw George Carlin call Jewish people yids in his book that I'm reading, and I liked it. So we're gonna give that a whirl later on.
I'm sorry, I don't speak Yiddish.
But yeah, so we so you take the ferry over to, say Nanaimo, which is a fair ways south, and one time we had to go to Campbell River, which is halfway up the island. And it was so long to get there. And they're like, hey, next week you get to go to Port Hardy, which is like more than double the distance to Campbell River. And I think we just said no.
I quit.
Yeah, I think we just said, we're not going to do that. They're like, what if we pay you for mileage? They're paying us for mileage anyway. And yeah, I think we still just said,
No.
yeah. Like,
I got a life.
I think we said that, like, we don't believe that anyone lives there. There can't be a reason to go there for work.
Yeah.
So we just didn't go. So that's my Port Hardy story of not going there.
Is this the British Columbia Geography podcast now?
It is. But Campbell River, I like to give a shout out, and I think you'll appreciate the shout out to Lee's Fried Chicken in Campbell River, a fried chicken franchise that exists only in Campbell River, British Columbia, formerly Coquitlam, British Columbia, Drew's old stamping grounds, and Detroit. The end. Nice. There's like 8 locations in Detroit, and then one, formerly 2, in British Columbia.
There is one. The closest one is in Nanaimo.
Oh, there's also Nanaimo. Okay, so there's like, are there a couple BC ones?
No, I don't want menu. I want locations.
I wouldn't mind a menu.
So yeah, there's Nanaimo. There is
further Sydney,
Saanich, maybe.
Okay.
No, there's 2.
Wow.
There's 2 in Duncan. And then
I see the Campbell River one on that map.
Yeah, there's Campbell River one.
And something on the mainland?
Oh yeah, something on the mainland. Oh, that's just this famous chicken. I don't know if it's
bullshit.
So it's just the island.
Yeah.
2 in Duncan, 1 in Nanaimo, and 1 in Campbell River, and that's it.
Weird. What a chain.
It's
good ass fried chicken though. Because I was in Campbell River for 36 hours or something. Every meal Lee's fried chicken.
Good idea.
No regrets.
Good idea. There's Quadra Island. I've spent a lot of time there.
Yep. So we did the news. We did geography. What else is going on?
I don't know. We talked about gay things.
Yeah, let's talk about gay things.
We talked about the Von Erichs.
I mean, it seems very cool to be a Von Erich. I'm very hung up on that.
It would be very cool to just live your life hard and fast.
Yeah.
And then go young. Like, at this point in our lives, like, I'm not doing anything.
I'm ready to die.
I'm ready. I'll go now.
Yeah.
Is this the podcast where we murder Suey, but it's double Suey?
Post.
Or double murder.
Oh, you don't get that a lot. I like that, though.
You don't get a lot of double murder.
Like, we simultaneously, like, stab each other.
Yep.
That's kind of cool. That's a little more gangster than murder Suey. And definitely more gangster than double Suey. Double Suey is kind of the coward's way out.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right?
That's like, I don't want to hurt my friend.
Yeah. Gay.
Did we know that that I don't know what the fucker the dumb girl with the giant fake boobs who used to
You're gonna have to narrow it down.
Who used to be the I Dream of Jeannie valet for Sabu
died? Yes.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Melissa Coates.
Yeah, her tits exploded.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not a bad way to go. I hear that.
Oh no, you got yourself.
It's the same reason Meghan McCain had to leave The View. Well, I don't think it's getting better than that. Let's talk about wrestling.
I wasn't done looking up who had died.
I'm sorry.
Recently,
any other exciting deaths?
I mean, I don't think anybody that we care about. Do we care about some actress who was old?
I don't know. If it was Jessica Walter, then yes, but she's already dead.
How about no? I think we talked about Champ Biden last podcast.
We did.
Yeah,
R.I.P. Champ.
All right. Well, this is In Your House 16.
A good show.
Canadian Stampede. Only good shows are in Canada.
First good show in a minute.
First good show where it wasn't a hassle to get through the match.
No, it was nice.
The show.
I had a good time.
So this was from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, from the Saddle Dome, home of the Calgary Flames, as Jim Ross said, I don't know, 30 times?
Really a lot of times, which reminded me that in my grade at school was the son of the people who owned the whole Saddle Dome, and I guess, I think just like most of Calgary.
Mm-hmm.
And
Do you want to give him a name shout-out?
Great question. I can picture him, but name escapes me.
Do you want me to look up who owns the Saddle Dome?
The last name would... I don't know if they still do. The last name would definitely twig it for me. But this may come as a surprise to you, but he was a rich, entitled prick.
What?
Can you even believe it? Guess what sport he played? You have...
Polo.
Yes!
Of course.
You did it!
It's either polo or water polo.
Those
are the two options.
Those poor horses.
Polo or water polo. All right.
But yeah, I think he might have even been... is polo in the Olympics?
Yeah, sure.
Or maybe he was just on, like, the national polo team. P.S. If you play polo, you get to be on the national polo team.
Sure.
It's not a great deal of competition.
There's only 10 people playing.
It's not the NFL.
Well, it's owned by the city of Calgary now.
Ah.
And it doesn't exactly tell me...
Who owned it in the 90s?
Who owned it. I don't think it's giving me any, like... people's names. It's just mentioning stuff like events, amenities, Saddle Dome, future. All right, what if I just Google who owned the Saddle Dome? Do you think that'll give me anything?
Maybe. I wish I could.
It's also not called the Saddle Dome anymore.
No, it's not.
It's called the Scotia Bank Saddle Dome.
My bank, shout out.
Well, maybe this ice hockey wiki will give me the information.
Or it won't.
Olympics, junior hockey, plan and design.
Picture a short guy, dark brown hair, but not coming.
Architecture, history.
Shout out to that guy.
So
I don't know if it's coming, and I don't know even if it does how good radio it is.
Is the last name Pengrowth familiar to you?
No, but that's an awesome rich white name.
Really
that's
is.
A really good old money name.
That really is.
The Pengrowths.
Stampede Corral was what it used to be called, or that's what the Flames used to play.
It wasn't Previe. I think that was someone else.
Byrne, Byrne.
No, that's the guy from Talking Heads.
Or Gabriel Byrne.
Gabriel Byrne wasn't in Talking Heads. Drew. Don't be stupid.
You don't know that. Well, I don't think we're gonna pull it, Scott. So
nah.
you'd better get remembering.
I guess so. That's a teaser for next week.
Next week's podcast will open up with Scott remembering the name of someone he went to
the rich kid I went to school with, amongst the other rich kids I went to school with. It was cool being one of the poorest guys in school.
That's funny. I'm glad I was middle and or regular income family.
Yeah,
like nothing fancy about my family. I'm not rich or entitled or straight. So
there's three things I'm not.
This was a free for all. It was the last free for all. Oh, before we get to that, Scott, where'd you watch it?
Watched at Sunil Amin's house.
Okay,
a rich person I went to school with. Both parents are doctors.
Oh,
and he's a doctor, and his wife's a doctor.
Did he
have the best wedding of all time? You bet your ass he did.
I was gonna say, did he have a choice about being a doctor?
Here's what I'll say. And actually,
hear me out.
Throughout school, one of my absolute best friends, he worked a lot harder than he needed to.
Okay.
Because he didn't need to work at all. He could have coasted through school and just sat home the rest of his life.
Sure.
and been a millionaire.
Okay.
But he, like, busted his ass and, like, got into Colombia on his own accord. So, good on him.
Good for him. Not everybody needs to live off of their family and or the government, Scott.
But if you could.
But if you could.
It's not a bad move.
I was trying to think, like, I haven't worked a day
In your life.
since...
Really in your life. But technically since.
Give me a second. No, I want to go backwards in time, not forwards in time. Since March 20th, 2020.
Nice.
Was the last time I worked a day.
I haven't worked a day since Sunday.
Yeah, it's not real work.
Streaming is work, Drew.
It's not work. If you get to kiss your husband, it's not work.
It's remote, so there's no kissing.
Oh no, it's work.
I take it all back. I'm so sorry. It's work.
I apologize.
Oh
greatly.
no.
Oh, I ruined it.
Kissing 2 weeks after double vax.
Yep.
Not there yet.
Yeah, there you go.
I think that also applies to us.
It does apply to us. But that's on the that's only on Best of the Decade podcasts, not
Yes.
on other ones.
I know. Rules are rules. And off air all the time.
Well, that's for us. That's not for you people.
That's not for you, scum.
Speaking of scum, WWF. This is the last free for all weekend.
It is.
So we
End of an
get
era.
heel Godwins, and how do we know they're heels, Scott?
Shirts up. I choked. Shirts off was what that sentence was supposed to sound like before I ran out of air.
Overalls up, no shirts.
Yes.
That's how you know they're bad guys.
Yeah.
Because bad
if
guys.
overalls over colorful shirt, good guy.
Good guys, because they're colorful. They're
Yeah.
friendly.
Overalls over skin, ugh. That's some deliverance shit.
So they were taking on the new Blackjacks, which is Blackjack Bradshaw and Blackjack Wyndham. Very interesting that they managed to get 2 second-generation guys to do the exact same gimmick. I don't think you very often get...
Is Bradshaw second generation?
Yeah. He's what's his face? Not Mulligan, the other one. No, he's Mulligan.
Isn't that just Wyndham's dad?
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's second generation.
I don't think they're both just the sons of the Blackjacks.
Second generation.
Lanza? I don't know.
Or like nephew or some shit.
I think you're drunk.
You're gay.
Drunk versus gay, the eternal struggle. Sometimes one leads to the other.
Well, here's an article on the new Blackjacks.
Yep. They were a team. One of their dads was in the original Blackjacks, and it wasn't Bradshaw.
Yeah. Blackjack Mulligan
Is Wyndham's
dad,
Yeah.
but they were portrayed as real life cousins. Like
Barry and
Wyndham
Bradshaw?
and Bradshaw were cousins,
Even though it's just a lie.
even though it's just a wrestle lie,
Fair.
which isn't the biggest wrestle lie on this show.
No. I'm agreeing with you, but I don't remember.
Over 1 billion people weekly.
half a billion.
Over 500 million people weekly.
In over 100 countries in 7 languages, seen by 500 million people every week. In 1997, there's no YouTube, so that's exclusively on television. 500 million viewers a week?
500 million.
I was saying,
Around the world.
their number one market is, unsurprisingly,
India.
the United States,
The United Arab Emirates.
who's getting, I think, 4 million a week?
Yeah, somewhere around
Maybe
there.
if you add in all the bullshit shows, 5? So where's
You
the...
think 1 million people are watching Shotgun Saturday Night
and Superstars put together?
Maybe.
500,000. Yeah, like, more people watch TV then.
It's true. People were stupider.
People were stupider and didn't have Netflix. So
or Pornhub, YouPorn,
for Affinity,
XNXX,
E621, DeviantArt. So I'm just asking where the other 495 million every week are coming from.
WrestleLies.com.
Didn't like it. I question it. I'm going to check it on Snopes.
Anyways, this match was It was fine. It was kind of just a hoss fight with some big moves. Mark Henry is back.
It started with some very good energy.
Yep.
Because Bradshaw hit that mean old kick.
Yeah, Hog is back from his broken neck he suffered against Legion of Doom.
Which is absolutely a Mandela effect for some people. Because some people think that Henry Godwin... I think they feel like the neck injury came a little later.
Yeah.
And he never wrestled again.
Never wrestled again. No, he came back and wrestled for a few years.
He didn't even miss that long for a broken neck. It was like well under a year.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's a pig farmer. They're stronger.
He is a pig farmer.
They're stronger.
And they are stronger.
Yeah. Bradshaw hit a really big, whip him off the rope, hit a big, massive boot to the head on Pig. Then
Pig got rocked.
As we're in Calgary, they are constantly talking about the Hart family and the history of the Hart family stuff. So they show Stu, Helen, and someone else in the front row. And Jerry Lawler says, "Is that really Stu, or is that a mannequin?"
Yeah, it was the Madame Tussauds wax figure of Stu Hart, who had died several years previously.
Yeah. At one point, Barry Windham surprised us by throwing a Japanese arm drag
with like a really nice snappy bump by Phineas.
Yeah. I mean, these boys can work.
They really
they're
can.
All big fat hosses, all of them can work. I mean, Bradshaw's not the most clean worker, but
like everyone has like pretty solid training, I think.
Yep. At one point, the Godwins go outside the ring, and Phineas is throwing a temper tantrum, and Lawler says that Blackjacks had better watch out, or he'll start mule kicking.
Yep,
which is funny. But the finish was just surprise roll up from Pig on Windham.
Yes,
which is the first of several surprise roll ups in this.
There's at least one other pretty notable one.
So the actual pay-per-view, we start off with Hunter Hearst Helmsley, no accent.
Yeah.
Versus slightly turned babyface Mankind.
Yeah, now Hunter's a tough guy from Greenwich, Connecticut.
A tough guy from Greenwich, Connecticut who takes it in the butt from his trans girlfriend.
That is very accurate, actually.
So they start off really hot and heavy because obviously they're in the middle of a feud. This time, Mankind does his finishing move as a throwaway.
Very early.
Double arm DDT.
I mean, I guess this is like semi-finisher because Mandible Claws is finished, but like double arm DDT, like second move of the match.
Yeah, it's a lot of Hunter working the leg, which is very boring. At one point, they brawl to the floor, and when Hunter is distracting the referee, Mankind turns around and takes a hip toss from China, where his calf just smashes the top corner.
And it was like totally the intention, like hip toss them right onto the steps. Like that's what was going to happen.
That's what Mick wanted.
God, that must have fucking hurt.
It looked terrible. But yeah, again, after that, it was just nothing but Hunter working the leg, like drop kick to the knee, doing the figure four, doing dropping his knee on the knee, just a bunch of just whatever shit. Eventually, they end up fighting each other to the floor, and then they brawl around ringside until they get counted out. Then they brawl into the crowd. Then they brawl all the way deeper into the crowd, all the way to the back. And then we never see them again for the rest of the show, except for
except a lot.
So next they show the Hart family on a parade route through Calgary.
Yep.
Where they are, what we're told, where there is people lined up to see them for a mile.
And I'm like, we're in Canada, so more like 1.6 kilometers.
1.6 kilometers. But he said a legitimate mile or a.
They were very set on this. It was a real mile, guys. I'm not just saying it like, it was a mile. It was a fucking mile.
They are joined by.
Also, I believe it. They were like wildly popular in Calgary.
Oh yeah, wildly popular, and it's the city most of them are from.
Yeah.
Or trained in or live in.
Yeah.
They are joined by
raped a woman in.
Or raped a woman in. The self-proclaimed 1997 Miss Calgary of Diana Hart Smith. My note after that was just barf, because she's gross. So next is the best match of the show. Taka Michinoku versus the Great Sasuke. in the sort of revamp of the WWF Cruiserweight division.
Yeah, this is the first.
And they chose the right horse to back.
Yes.
So, the idea behind this was WCW was doing real well with their cruiserweights. And even though Vincent Kennedy McMahon does not like small people,
hates them tinies,
he realized that they were losing and they had to do something.
So let's do
Let's
do like one of the biggest things the other guys are doing that we're not.
So yeah, WCW is doing Mexicans. Let's do Japs.
Yeah, which on paper, good idea.
Good idea. However, the idea was to build around Sasuke and make him the star of the light heavyweight division. Except for he had other ideas.
Sasuke quickly revealed himself to be a silly goose and made an offhanded comment about winning their new light heavyweight title, taking it to Japan, and then never coming back to America.
Oh, that's so funny.
Which is very funny.
That is very funny.
You can't be mad at that.
No, I cannot. It's very silly that they're like, well, you know what? We're going to punish you. You said something stupid. We're going to punish you. So essentially everything transitioned over to Taka. So this match is
Taka, who was pretty much exclusively a heel.
Yes.
Like he was... I don't know if he was the leader of it. I guess Dick Togo was the leader of Kai and Tai in Michinoku Pro, but like Taka was also right there.
Yes. Yeah, Taka was involved. But I think in WWF, I don't think there was really a leader once they became Kai and Tai.
Not really. It was just
all of them and
Japanese
Mr. Yamaguchi-san.
Yeah.
Choppy Choppy or Pee Pee.
Do you know how long... I've been trying to find it this whole time. How long Henry Godwin was out with the broken neck for?
5 months?
Nope.
2.
Nope.
14.
4 weeks.
4 weeks?
Yeah.
So it must not have been like a full fracture.
It must not have.
It must have just been like...
He was out from April 21st to May 18th.
So yeah, it must have been like a stress fracture or something.
Something.
Or like a minor thing.
Yeah.
Man, I thought it was like full on like needed surgery.
Because I've been scrolling through like dates, like trying to find a gap.
And there's none.
And that's the biggest one.
All right.
And the gap is after a match with Legion of Doom. So that's the one.
That is the one.
Yeah. Tough guy.
Tough guy.
Thick neck.
I mean, he's a pig farmer.
He's a guy. They're a pig farmer. They're stronger.
They're stronger. They're dumber. They're thicker. They bake bigger cums. So
the dumber, the thicker. They might say nope. Never mind.
They will say. So before the match can start, Hunter and Mankind brawl back out from the backstage area in the crowd. Great way to build up your light heavyweight division.
I'd be bummed if if they flew me in from Japan for like the first match in like this new division, and then you both enter, you're both introed. And then before the bell rings, these two assholes come and pull all the focus.
Yeah, they're taking
and
away from... And
then you just have to stand... Like, they just stood there.
They stood in the ring?
And watched.
Yeah, they just had to
until it reached its natural conclusion. Triple H ejaculating.
Yeah, nothing more frustrating than, like, getting warmed up, doing your entrance, getting to the ring.
And stop.
And can you guys hold on for a few minutes while they do the thing?
Yeah.
So... just before, so Hunter and Mankind fight back to the back.
Yeah.
Referee rings the bell. As soon as the bell rings, somebody in the crowd walks past the camera that just has a giant sign that says, "This is work rate."
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Like very, very smirky, nerdy, but it's like it's 1997, so that's still fairly inside. Then, like the internet's pretty new, and like. I don't think the word work rate really existed much outside of the internet. Because, like, wrestlers don't say work rate.
No, absolutely not. That's not something that you would be saying to the general public.
Yeah. I don't know if it's originally if it's a Meltzer-ism. I don't really hear him say work rate much. So I guess it's just like other wrestling magazine nerds, I guess.
Yeah.
Is where it came from.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean the match is exactly what you would expect from like light heavyweights in the mid 90s.
It's a real good. It's a real good Suzuki Taka match. It was surprising in like the first half of the match how many like just holds they did.
Yeah,
like they. Because kind of the idea, especially if it's the first match in this new division, and the point is it's small guys like doing spectacular stuff. The first half was unspectacular.
I'm going to assume that they were told to do it. Like, that seems like a Vince thing to do.
Yeah.
Like,
work our style a bit.
He doesn't understand what it is.
Yeah.
So he just says, well, you got to do both. You got to hybrid it. And they're like,
Yeah. Okay.
There was some really brutal kicks to the head by Sasuke.
Oh, yeah. Suzuki got him in the corner.
A big side kick.
Did like a jumping soul butt.
Like
right to the head.
Right to the head. Like, and whipped Taka's head back.
It was a good one.
It was real hard.
Connected.
Then Taka does his very cool jump up to the top ropes cross body.
Yep, that got the crowd going.
Then they get back in the ring. They do a quick move. Then they're like, oh, Sasuke special. No, just an Asai moonsault. Still good though.
Still good. It was a nice aside, but I was hoping for a special.
Yeah, and then they get back in the ring, and from there it's just Sasuke kicking his ass. He hits the mean like snap like sort of shoulder power bomb.
Yeah, the Thunderfire.
Yeah, and then just a dragon suplex, done.
Tiger suplex.
Or Tiger suplex. Sorry.
Yeah.
Tiger suplex, done.
Which is probably the first Tiger suplex any strictly WWE fan had ever seen.
Yes.
There had probably Benoit would have done Benoit have done a Tiger suplex in WCW. I don't know. He did dragons.
Yeah. I don't know.
Ultimo would have done a Tiger.
Probably. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. I can picture him doing them in 96.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah. So after that, we go back to Hunter and Mankind. They're now brawling outside.
I'm like, man, they're going hard on this feud. I guess they're doing a cage match at SummerSlam where nothing bad happens to Foley.
Nothing bad happens. Everybody has cake.
For those who don't know, and we're not going to review it, so we might as well say it now, there's a spot in the match where Foley is in the process of escaping through the door in the cage, and China, noted trans man, smashes the cage door at absolute full force.
Full power.
On Foley's head. I don't know how it didn't ruin him for life.
I don't know how everything in his career didn't ruin him for life.
That's true. It's a miracle.
It's a miracle he's walking today.
He's walking and
barely.
With us. And also the because I definitely remember watching the SummerSlam live, and Foley doing the big moment of the match was he goes to the top of the cage, tears open his shirt, revealing the big dude love heart painted on his chest, except he has sweated the heart completely off, and everyone just wonders why he tore his shirt open.
Yeah. Very, very weird, but very funny.
Yes.
Like, that's the big thing, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So yeah, they brawl outside. They're out near the production trucks and like near the dumpsters and stuff. Foley takes a really hard, like he gets thrown at a bunch of kegs and just hits real hard.
Yeah.
Then they go up on top of some like stacked pallets and stuff or wood. Yeah. Hunter's gonna hit a pedigree, but then he takes a back body drop. Mm-hmm. Hunter's been busted open.
Yeah.
And then referees and security sort of break them up, and that's it. Then they show the fact that tonight was supposed to be Undertaker versus Ahmed Johnson for the title, but they show
you're not gonna believe this,
guys. Listen to this.
Breaking news.
For
unprecedented, Ahmed Johnson got hurt
for the fourth time since we've been doing In Your Houses.
Yeah,
Ahmed Johnson has hurt himself.
Yeah, in a year and a half of him being in the company.
It's crazy. If he's not hurting somebody himself, he's hurting somebody else.
He's always involved in an injury of some sort.
Yeah. Ahmed gets replaced by Vader.
Yeah.
So backstage,
honestly, step up
for sure. Although Undertaker Ahmed is like a very sloppy, fun thing.
It is a fun, weird match.
So Vader and Paul Bearer backstage with Handsome Doc Hendricks, where it's beginning the storyline of Paul Bearer claiming that Undertaker is a murderer who murdered his family. He burned them alive. He is since no longer wearing white face paint, and he has dyed his hair to like. It's like when you use cheap peroxide to dye your hair.
It's a light. It's an orange.
It's like reddish orangish.
Yeah,
blonde.
it's a very light red.
It looks hideous.
It's funny,
but it works really well.
Yeah.
So they cut a big promo where he's just he's saying that Undertaker's a murderer. Vader's going to win the title. They showed a highlight package from Vader pinning him clean at the
Rumble.
Yeah, pinning him clean at the Rumble, non-title, and then. They showed the clip of Paul Bearer jumping off the apron with the urn, clobbering Undertaker in the back of the head with it,
and then
landing,
absolutely eating shit,
just falling ass over tea kettle back into the guardrail.
Imagine
bad.
asking Paul Bearer to land on his feet.
It was so fucking good. It made us laugh.
That's the fault of whoever asked him to do that.
Yeah, they're like, let's let this 400+ pound manager
5'5"
do a big high spot. Like, good idea.
It's great. Did he like jump off the apron? Yeah, too high.
Yeah, way too high.
Too high for Paul Bearer.
Like the apron comes up to like his tits.
Yeah,
and he's supposed to jump off that.
Yeah, of course he's eating shit.
He's eating shit, but it was
it looked like he like bonked his head on the guardrail. It was a whole thing.
But Percy's a professional.
Percy's a pro.
He's a professional. WWF title match, Undertaker versus Vader. It starts off sort of like brawly. Over the course of the first little while, like anytime Undertaker's near the ropes or down, or when they eventually brawl to the outside, Paul Bearer is just constantly yelling, "Murderer! You're a murderer, Undertaker! You're a murderer!
You're gay, Undertaker! You fucked your brother!
You're a big queer, Undertaker!" So, yeah, I mean, honestly, like, not a lot happens. It's a lot of Vader doing body avalanches in the corner, and a lot of Undertaker, like, throwing kicks and punches to get away from him.
A couple good flying clotheslines, either like a standard running one and a straight up top rope one.
And a straight up top rope one.
Cool.
So at one point, Taker gives him the old, like, uppercut or punch. Vader goes over the top of the floor, which it was very smooth. As soon as he hit it and Vader was going over the top, Taker backed up to the top rope, hooked his arm, and
he does the back
he
roll
went
over.
over
Great.
very smooth.
These are two athletic, huge men.
Athletic big men, yeah, for sure. Then, so he goes over the top, and he sees Paul Bearer, and Paul immediately is like, "Oh no!" And he's like, I didn't do anything." So he starts.
I didn't mean you were gay.
He starts hobbling away as fast as he can.
Yeah.
Taker kind of gets him around the corner, up against the guardrail. Vader has to
comes
jog his way around the ring to catch up to him so that he doesn't get to Paul.
Yeah.
They do a little bit more fighting on the floor. They get back in the ring, and then Taker, for like this is the first time he does it a second time, just like no problem, chucks Vader up to his shoulder for a tombstone.
Big scoop,
huge scoop, like smooth and fast. However, after the smooth and fast, not so good. So they try to do on his shoulder,
the straight up rollover vertical tombstone reversal.
Yes.
Vader does not land on his feet.
Vader lands on his feet, but
the momentum keeps him.
I think if we watched it again, I think Taker jumped too soon. Okay. I think it's on Mean Mark and not on Leon.
Fair enough.
So he sort of like butt bumps it, but they manage to roll through into Taker.
Yeah, they roll through one more time with just Taker like 69ing on top, 69ing Vader on the ground. So they just do it as a pin.
Yeah, which is good.
It's as far as you go. That's a decent save.
That is the best way to counter fucking up a finishing sequence.
Yeah, solid save.
So after that, Vader gets him down and gives him like a big splash on the ground.
Yeah.
He then goes up to the second rope to do Vader bomb, and he's like really milking it, and Paul's like,
he's having a good
get
bounce.
Him! You're gonna get him!
Yeah.
It's ours! You're a murderer!
And then Taker remembered,
sits up,
Yep.
Gets back up to his feet.
Remembered Final Four from February, and Vader's weakness is being punched in the dick as he's about to go for a Vader bomb. So Taker does that, gives him a middle rope choke slam.
Which we're like, that could be the finish.
I guess that's the finish, because he's probably not tombstoning Vader.
No.
Vader kicks out. gives him a standing choke slam. We're like, okay, that's the exclamation
Two
mark.
choke slams instead of a tombstone. Yeah, equals.
Vader
equals each
kicks
other.
out. And we're like, all right, are we just gonna do like a bunch of choke slams and eventually he's down? And like, nope. Scoops him up again pretty fucking easily.
Yep.
And even though he cannot wrap his arms all the way around Vader, so he's just sort of like
love handles,
grabbing both love handles. There was one, because he got him up really nice, and then as he was kind of shifting him into like straight, like symmetrical tombstone position, there was like a little slip. I'm like, oh, but no, he got it, grabbed that fat, and gave him a fucking tombstone.
Fattest guy he's ever given a tombstone to.
Yeah. I would think so.
Yeah.
So good on him.
I mean, he's not giving him to
like is Vader 400 pounds? High threes?
High threes.
Yeah.
He's definitely
he's announced at 458.
Yeah.
He's not.
He's slimmed down.
Yeah, I've seen a fatter Vader.
He's smaller now than he was when he
I wonder
first
if Mark
came.
made him. He's like, you need to lose as much weight as you can before we have.
But I
this
feel
match.
like a lot of guys have slimmed down because like Ahmed slimmed down when we saw him last.
Yeah.
Bulldog's not as bulky. Like maybe that was just this 1997 was the like 2020 where everybody got like vegan and super skinny. You know? Vegan Vader.
The original weight cut.
Yeah.
But he's got to be like he's high-ish 300 pounds.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. So now it's time for the main event, which is the Canadian Stampede match, which or they're like the melee match, I believe Vince called it at one point.
I don't trust Vince.
So it is, of course, the noted baby faces, the Hart Foundation.
Yes.
Owen, Brett, Bulldog, Neidhart, and Pillman.
Yeah.
Against the team of American good guys.
So who represents America?
A queer from Hollywood.
Yep.
A street fighter.
Yep.
2 post-apocalyptic warriors.
Yep.
And a guy from Texas.
Works for me.
Yeah, that's America.
That's pretty good.
Right there.
That's a solid
gays,
cross-section.
Anti-gays, apocalyptic people, and Texas. That's America. USA. So, of course, this is in Calgary. So, the Hart Foundation, the Americans come out first to booze.
To giant booze.
The Hart Foundation comes out individually.
The Hart Foundation, who are assholes. They are bad guys.
But they come out individually. So Pillman comes out, huge pop. Neidhart comes out, okay pop.
Yeah.
Bulldog comes out,
Huge
pretty
pop.
good pop.
Yeah,
Owen
Bulldog's
comes
big,
out,
actually. Yeah.
huge pop.
Yes.
Brett comes out, massive pop.
Roof blows off. Yeah.
So of course now you've got the Hart Foundation, the good guys. Like I would say that as Vince McMahon or people in charge, kind of a bad idea. If you're building up Steve Austin as the big guy, you're going to do this kind of match in Calgary. Like, I get for the storyline of you're in Calgary, so let's put all of the Hearts in the main event. But you're to a pay-per-view audience, you're watching Goldust, Shamrock, Legion of Doom, and Austin get booed.
Yes.
Hardcore booed.
It's weird.
And like
weird.
I had said, all of their comeback offense is babyface offense
getting
booed.
Yeah.
So it's just a weird way. Like,
it's a very strange dynamic.
I know it makes sense, but it's still like that's something that you were like, okay, we're gonna be in Texas, like we're gonna be in Austin, so let's do the match there, or Chicago or something, where the baby faces are gonna get a massive pop. So it's kind of weird. So the match, honestly, like the crowd is hella hot the whole match. It never dies down.
Yeah, and they were very smart to start with Brett versus Austin.
Yeah,
because there's two ways. There's two schools of thought. There's two ways to do it. You can either start with the biggest match or build to the biggest match. But I think their theory was, we can start with the hottest thing and it will stay hot the whole time, and they were right. Yeah. So they did it right.
Yeah, they definitely had the structure down perfectly.
Yeah.
So the match itself, like, yes, the heat is great. The match is good.
It's good.
It's not. It could have been better, and the only reason why is, like I said, there's faces that are working heel by default, doing face moves and getting booed, and the bad guys who are the faces doing bad guy moves and getting cheered.
Yeah, like
so
the bad guys
up.
are cheating and double teaming and getting cheered.
And a lot of the match is like one of the faces has one of the heels in a move, and then Pillman runs in and clotheslines them out of doing the move. And
Pillman was the big breakup guy.
and a lot of it was like, we're like, was he supposed to do that, or is that just Pillman being Pillman?
Yeah.
But it was the other way as well. Like, you know, Owen would put a lock on someone, and one of Legion of Doom would run in and clobber him.
Yeah.
And that must have happened like 7 times, 8 times. There was a very funny thing where Neidhart and Shamrock squared up, and Neidhart was sort of trying to do like a
Neidhart was trying to go shooting.
Stance,
He's like
lifting his leg,
checking
kicks,
yeah.
and keeping his hands up. And
it was cute.
Yeah, noted Street Fighter Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Then there was a
He's got such a great build.
Yeah, he does.
An absolute tank.
Just so thick.
Yeah.
He's part of the Thick Hog community.
Absolutely.
There was a very, very funny part where Pillman picks up Shamrock and gives him a backbreaker. Then when they land on the mat and he goes for goes down to him, he
grabs
takes Shamrock's hand
wrist.
and he's hitting his hand on the mat, and he's saying to the referee, he's
tapping.
tapping.
Great.
It was very funny. But yeah, I mean, the match honestly wasn't like anything spectacular. Austin still hasn't quite figured out how to do the stunner properly, because as we said, it's usually middle finger, kick stunner, or kick stunner, then middle finger when they're down.
However, he did it
the wrong way.
This
middle fingers should always be
first or last,
number 1 or number 3,
not in the middle.
Not number
this
2.
one was kick, flip him off, and then grab him stunner.
Yeah.
It was very awkward, and like they didn't get a good jump on the bump.
No.
Because you don't want the gap between kick and stunner.
No, that's recovery.
Kick go. Like
that's
the kick,
recovery time.
The kick even like starts the move going.
Yeah. So they at one point Owen gets a knee injury or something.
Yeah.
So the referees take Owen to the back, and then
Austin crotches him on the post and like does the throw the leg into the post, and then hits the leg with a chair.
Yeah.
So Owen's hurt.
So he gets taken away, and then I don't know, like a few minutes later, Austin also gets hurt.
Yes.
And they're like, he's had a knee injury for a while, so he gets escorted to the back. So now it's 4-on-4. So then after a few minutes of just nothing really, Austin comes all the way back down, hobbles down
for a hot tag,
gets up to the apron, gets the hot tag, comes in, starts kicking ass. They brawl to the floor, where then he grabs Stu and tries to kick Stu's ass. Which then Keith gets involved, because Keith Hart is like, he thinks he's Brett.
Yeah.
He's always thought
no
he's
one
Brett.
Tell him that he's not Brett.
Because he's always the one that thinks like he knows how to, I know how to get the heat. I know how to work. I can get this in. Like, it's the infamous like Brett versus Vince at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Like, he needs to be a major part of it. So eventually he gets involved and starts brawling. One of the other random family members that we couldn't quite pick out who it was,
possibly Schlub.
Yes, it's Schlub Hart, gets involved. So now the Harts are over the barricade. They're brawling with the faces, or like the Americans, and yeah. So there's just
have we had Owen come back yet?
Yeah. So they're brawling on the floor. Bulldog comes over, and Neidhart comes over. There's a bunch of brawling. Owen now hobbles his way back down to the ring.
Yeah.
He gets up on the apron, and Brett gets over to get the tag to him. While all this brawling is going on, Austin gets back in the ring, who is the legal man for the Americans. And while he's yelling through the ropes trying to fight, I guess Keith maybe, or he's still jaw-jacking with Stu. I don't know.
Yeah.
Everybody's off the aprons and all fighting on the floor except for Owen and Brett.
Yeah, there was one real good one during the big brawl on the floor where Pillman whipped Shamrock into like the Spanish announce table, and right by the guard, and Shamrock just takes like a giant fucking bump. He just throws himself over the table.
It's great. Yeah, that was rad. So Owen gets tagged by Brett. He sneaks up behind Austin, gives him the old grab the tights, roll him up, and boom. And Owen gets the pin.
Pin his ass.
Crowd loses their minds. Then they proceed to continue brawling.
Like if you were deaf, you would assume the match was still going.
Yeah.
Because nothing besides the bell ringing delineated
Yeah.
the match from non-match.
Ref didn't raise the arms.
Yeah.
Nobody celebrated.
Yeah, it was 1, 2, 3. Keep fighting.
Everybody spilled back in the ring. They all kept brawling. Then all of the other Hearts got in. They were all brawling. Eventually, referees and like the backstage guys come down to break everything up. And then, they're still fighting. And Shamrock is trying to get Animal to get out of the ring. Where like Keith Hart is trying to kick Shamrock in the head. And then it's just like all this brawling. Eventually, all the Americans get out of the ring and start leaving. The crowd is like the heroes have triumphed over the bad guys.
Yeah. By cheating.
The whole fucking Hart family gets in the ring. And like everyone, all the kids, all of the brothers and sisters and wives and cousins.
Yep.
Everybody gets in the fucking room. We got to see little baby Teddy Hart.
Baby Teddy Hart.
We got to see.
We think we saw a Natty.
We saw
Neidhart in there.
We probably saw Natty.
Because there was a lot of blonde girls.
A lot of blonde girls.
So
that
one
were around
was,
that age.
One had to be her.
Didn't see D.H. Smith or Harry, but
could have been there, but we didn't see him.
But anyways, so then it's just this massive celebration. They literally have to carry Stu up the stairs into the ring.
Yep. They
have to carry Helen up the stairs into the ring.
Well, she's pregnant.
She is pregnant at 50, 70 years old. So yeah, I mean the kind of a weird booking that like that was the end of the show is like the bad guys are the good guys and they win.
Yeah, I think it works enough. Like in the building, everyone goes home happy.
Yeah,
like the
true, but the
giant faces won,
and
then and pay-per-view and everyone else watching. It's more heat for the Hart Foundation so they can get theirs later. True.
That is true. And I'm sure that a lot of people watching at home that were pro-America were mad at the Canadians winning. So I guess it does achieve what you want. So, But yeah, that was Canadian Stampede, which is, I guess, maybe the best in your house. Maybe.
It's way up there.
So far, it's probably the best one.
Yeah, I think it is. It probably is the best straight up.
Taker Vader was good. Sasuke Taka was great.
This has got to be the first show with 2 4-star plus observer matches.
Yeah, I would say so.
I can't imagine another one.
The other ones usually have one and then a bunch of nothing.
Yeah, because like they're like the Sean Jarrett and nothing, Sean Owen and nothing, Sean Mankind and nothing.
Yeah, before the
Speaking of
Final Four.
Nothing. Yeah. Was it good? Oh, yeah, Sean's back next show.
Yes, he is.
Oh, and it's another end of an era. I just remembered why there's no more free for all. Because the fucking pay-per-views go to 3 hours.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Scott, podcast's over. We're done.
Man, the podcast might be over.
We're done.
It was a good run, guys.
I am not watching 3 hours.
Not watching 3 hours of Ground Zero?
2,
next week?
4, 6, 7 matches, as opposed to the 5 we got this time.
Yeah.
So that sucks.
Yeah.
But one is a minis match, so and it goes 9 minutes.
Do like a minis.
Minis going 9.
I think we can just fast forward more liberally.
Yeah, probably.
We'll be okay.
I'm sure we'll be fine.
We'll pull it out.
Well, anyways, I hope you enjoyed.
I hope you enjoyed.
I mean, I don't care.
You care. It's very important to you.
Sarian Softpaws on Twitter.
Not Scott Henson on Twitter.
Like, subscribe, get notifications. Make sure you tell us you love us.
We're
very needy and demanding.
We are. We thrive on positive feedback, and we cannot take negative feedback. Please, please do not say anything mean. We can dish it out, but we absolutely cannot take it.
You do not know how close we are to breaking mentally.
Yeah.
And also, if you feel like it, give us some money.
Give us some money. PayPal.me/notscotthenson. And it will be shared accordingly with Drew. If you say to. Otherwise, I might just keep it.
We could really use it because we're going to need to sit through 3 hours of wrestling now.
Yeah, come on, man.
That
we got
money
another
helps
hour.
us get food.
Yeah.
It helps us feed our tum-tums.
We're going to need to eat more.
Yeah.
You need to eat more to watch. That's just science. Eat more to watch more.
Eat more to watch more.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's everything. The secret letter, of course, I should probably give you that, is Z. What's that? A second Z so soon? What are we giving secret messages about pizza? The answer may surprise you.
Z or Z?
Look, I don't know. The end of the alphabet one.
All right. See ya.
Bye.